I look forward to showing people that we're a team to be reckoned with, and let's not be shy about wanting to be the best. And I fully expect us to be competitive and to be a winning team. And our goal is to win a championship, and it starts with the division. So come get us.
What's going on, everybody listening to the Baseball Goombas? Today is July 14th, 2019. This is our 29th podcast episode. John Goomba here with Chris Goomba.
Chris Goomba! Hello, everybody. We are back in action here. Back in action for the second half of the season.
Had a nice little clip for you there from SNY back in January of Brody Van Wagen and telling everybody to come get us, and that certainly worked out for him. Really, there you go, 40 and 50 going into the break. That way do it.
Come get us, huh?
Come get us.
As everybody is well aware, they came and conquered.
Yeah.
With what's going on in the internet. So obviously, it's not the season. Rookie GM Brody Van Wagenen and the Mets envisioned. No. I do not want to hear there's still time to creep back into this thing.
No, it's over.
Because let's face the facts.
And they've kind of admitted that. They're kind of hinting that they're sellers, which I thought was awkward because going into the break, they said they weren't sellers, and then the break had no games played. Once they said no, we're gonna see how we, and then there was the All-Star break, and then they're basically saying before the first game against the Marlins even started, we're gonna see if we can.
Coming into the second half, they're playing out the string.
Yeah,
it's not. It stinks for you guys because you gotta watch this junk.
Honestly, it is so hard to watch a Mets baseball game. It's brutal to watch this team play. They're in Miami right now, and so far they've split the first two games, and they're playing.
I just said before we came here, I really, really hope the Mets win today, because it would be their first road series victory since April 1st to the 3rd. That is April 1st to the 3rd. It is almost August.
And that was against Chris?
The same team, the Marlins.
So they could only win road series against the worst team in baseball, and they could very well not even win this one.
Truly, I hope they win, just because they can't. April 1st, April Fool's Day.
Beat any other team.
Come on.
Accidentally win two.
It's bad. So what they need to do now, they need to sell off what they can.
Yep.
Never mind the emotional attachments to the ball players and Noah and Wheeler, and except the ground. Keep the ground.
Well, obviously, got that contract.
Never mind the top rotation everybody's been talking about with the young guns has never lived up to its hype. I don't want to hear any of that nonsense.
It's unbelievable how
outside of the
underwhelming the downfall started with Matt Harvey, who you forget even
exists. Threw last night.
Yeah.
Enough with that guy.
Yeah, his numbers with the Angels have been atrocious. And they just keep trying them out there because they're the Angels, and they really don't.
They're fighting. They're fighting this year.
It's because they could always hit. Trout's incredible.
30 home runs.
Unbelievable, that guy. Stop throwing him down and in. Stop throwing it.
They all got 30. Trout, Bellinger, and
Yelich.
And Yelich got 31. I think Bellinger's got 31. Man, these guys are just teeing off.
Pistol Pete.
Oh, don't even get me started. Back to the Mets. So,
yeah, sure.
The bullpen. Complete joke.
It's like the worst ever.
Okay. Can't get anybody out.
Yep.
So I had knocked, and I believe John has as well, I have knocked the Cano, Edwin Diaz trade.
Yeah, we have episodes.
Since day one, we have episodes on
when
that.
It happened, I went off.
I remember saying I understand it because there's a new GM in town. Everybody was complaining how it was the same team year in, year out, no influx of new players. So he was trying to.
I get it.
I do. I understand.
But I get he wanted to go in, make a splash, make an impact. But
how are you going to trade a probable star in Kelenic?
Yep.
For an aging second baseman and a closer, which in today's game, closers we can't. I've said it a million times on this show.
They're a dime a dozen.
Closers are so volatile. It's ridiculous.
Especially,
they come and go.
But especially in a year where your 2018 free agents. Now, a lot of these guys have not panned out, like Cody Allen. We get it. But when you go into the offseason and you see the success that these guys have had, and you see names like Cody Allen, Brad Brock, Zach Britton, Familia, Greg Holland, Kimbrel, Andrew Miller, Adam Ottavino, Sergio Romo, David Robertson, why do you need to trade one of your future stars? Okay, he's in the top what is he? He's number 24 on the MLB's top 100 right now.
Justin Dunn.
Why do you need
and
to
Cano
trade
were-
that for a closer who proved something one season?
Right.
Now,
Yeah,
great,
year.
incredible season.
57 saves, 196.
Yep. The previous year, 34 saves, 3.27 ERA. It's good. It's a good numbers, but
You can get that
to
elsewhere.
to be so Mets and go buy somebody at 57 saves leading the league and a 196 ERA to buy high like that is just that's when you put yourselves in a situation where you have to deal Kelenic and you have to deal Justin Dunn.
Who are both were in the futures game.
And I remember in the beginning, I was saying I would have much rather. It didn't bother me that Dunn was in it because I know we have Anthony Kay and we have David Peterson. We had decent starting pitching prospects still in the pipeline, but I would rather much have seen Andres Jimenez, who had that number one value on the team, but wasn't showing the promise. And I thought you could maybe sneak in Andres Jimenez, especially when you have Ronnie Mauricio, who's also a shortstop, even younger in the pipeline, showing a higher ceiling than Jimenez. So I just didn't want to see Kelenic to be part of this trade at all. I don't know if you remember when these negotiations were going on, how Jeff McNeil's name dropped in there after hitting 329, but we were going to get Cano to play second base, so you really didn't need McNeil was their theory, but it had everybody going nuts. How are you going to trade your best hitter? This guy just hit 330, led the team, came out of nowhere. He's young, he's under control, and now you're going to go get a guy that you're going to have to pay $24 million a year for at 36, coming off a suspension. It just didn't make sense why you needed to do any of this with the free agents. And I get it. You wanted a salary dump, Bruce Warzik. I get that, but you didn't really dump anything when you got $24 million a year contract in return.
It can only get worse from here. I mean,
it just didn't work out.
Part of the rationale behind this deal was that the DH was coming sooner rather than later in the National League.
You can't just guess. And DH like look right now. What would you do with the DH? You would put Smith or Alonso there every day, 100%. So you never needed this. So you can't be looking that far out in baseball. Dom Smith came out of nowhere. He's hitting over 300 the entire year.
Bright spot.
Alonso's hitting 30 home runs. He's gonna get 100 RBIs easily. And it just depends what kind of glove you want at first base that they're giving each other a day off. That could have been easily done. But now you got Cano just clogging up everything.
Because Brody was his agent.
And you got Mickey batting him third because he's
That's why.
stubborn. I know, the agent thing is wild.
That's why. I mean, Cano...
Because he knows... I felt like because he was comfortable with who he was. Because he knew him.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, Cano is 250 plus plate appearances, just hit his 5th home run last night.
First one with runners on we were talking about
5
before.
home runs.
Took post All-Star break to get 2 RBIs and a home run.
And you're tied to this guy now.
But you literally just went an entire half of a season, slight hamstring injury, so he was out of the lineup for.
He got hit.
For
hit in the hand.
Yeah.
What, 3 times?
But
4 times?
To bat third,
But still,
for most of the 90 games you just
part of
played,
Mickey's problem.
and to net 20. Actually, before the All-Star break, he had 18 RBIs. To bat third that long and have 18 ribs,
It's not getting it done.
and to refuse to drop him in the lineup.
That's all. We'll get into that in a second, but that's all part of Mickey's
Unbelievable.
shtick.
Oh my god.
As far as the closers go, listen, I get it. Edwin Diaz coming off a Cy Young season, almost 60 saves. But you look at what's going on around the league now. Yes, you have your Felipe Vasquez's. You got those. You got your
good.
Chapman. He's good. Yeah. You got Chapman's, Raciel Iglesias. You got these guys, but you also look around the league. You got Liam Hendricks is now the top-notch closer for the A's. Kirby Yates is all of a sudden Mariano Rivera.
Yeah,
with
what
the
in
Padres.
the world?
You got Ian Kennedy having a nice season with 13 or 14 saves for the Royals.
Mm-hmm.
Sean Kelly, Yankee great, is now closing. Got double-digit saves for the Rangers because of Leclerc. Just struggles.
Leclerc's got a fun name. Sorry,
Leclerc. But Sean Kelly's closing for the Rangers. We got me and you closing for the Rays. So you don't need a guy with 60 plus that's going to get you 60 plus saves anymore. You don't need it anymore.
and you had no problem giving him Familia 3 years.
But again, maybe Edwin Diaz is getting acclimated to the city here. So
he just looks terrible. Stuff does
it does.
not.
It looks off.
When I remember watching him last year, it literally looked untouchable. Everybody looked lost when he was throwing the ball. And this year, it just looks like hangers.
Maybe next year will be different. I don't know. But it's just...
Already better hope.
It's not going to get any better, I think, with that Cano Diaz trade. Could be wrong. You never know how it pans out. But,
nah, you're right.
Listen, right now, the only good thing about the Mets is Pete Alonso.
Yeah. McNeil.
DeGrom and McNeil and the booth, Gary, Keith, and Ron.
Basically, your all-stars are your bright spots.
That's the only good thing about this team. Pete Alonso's 30 home runs. He's going to shatter the single season.
I don't know if you remember this.
Todd Hundley, great.
I said
Carlos Beltran
in one of our early episodes that Pete Alonso was one day going to break the Mets' 41 home run record.
It's going to happen next week.
And you asked me, wait, are you saying it's going to happen this year? And I said no. And now I'm mad that I didn't take the bold prediction and say it was going to happen his rookie year. Now I'm mad. But I did say he was eventually going to do it.
Needs 12 more.
Yeah.
It's going to happen in 2 weeks.
Barring any injuries.
No, don't say that. Don't say it.
We'll knock on wood. We'll knock on
my
wood.
favorite player. So, credit due to Brody for bringing him up.
Yeah.
Instead of manipulating and buying another year of salary control by keeping him in Syracuse.
He's going to be a rookie of the year.
First 2 weeks.
Hands
he
down.
should be. Okay, so
you know what? Just real quick. You know what's really frustrating as a Met fan to see this? What you have is you have last year's former Cy Young winner. Okay, you have the potential batting title champion on this team, and you have the potential rookie of the year / home run champion on this team, and you can't win games. You literally have 3 amazing home runs, hits, and the best ace.
Yeah, listen,
and you can't win. You can't play 500 ball.
If it's not injuries, it's just underwhelming.
It's just
performances.
so frustrating.
From the bullpen, from Cano, from
Sick
Diaz.
of talking about bright spots. How about you win and the bright spot's the playoffs that you made it.
They should be. Okay, you want to talk about remembering? I don't know if you remember, but our very first our show before the season started, where we made our predictions. We gave a couple of sleeper teams. I was almost getting ready to don the Mets as my NL sleeper team, but I did not.
Yeah, you didn't.
It was the Reds, who 5 out of the Central. Okay, let's.
Do you remember mine? National League?
I am going to say the Braves.
Yeah, it was the Braves. Because everybody was picking Phillies, Nats, and Mets, and they forgot that the Braves actually won the East last year.
Phillies.
They won the East, and they went out and got an MVP third baseman. Why are they all of a sudden 4th? I didn't understand it.
Nationals playing great ball right now. They won 30 out of those 40.
I never understood how they were that bad with that lineup. That lineup is stacked. But I guess it was always the bullpen woes as usual.
But listen, the Mets should be better than what they are because, again, there's a lot of underwhelming performances going on. You have Mickey Callaway, who's living on borrowed time. Enough's enough with that guy.
I can't take him.
It's just, overall, it's just, we're not going to get too much into it, but it's just not working.
It's
not working. It's weird. It's been weird.
It is weird. Just to hear him talk is frustrating. Like, Met fans are kind of just sick of his post games and all that. And even after
team's a mess.
Even after the first game back from the All-Star game, Vargas threw against the Marlins. He gave up 6 runs. Okay, he gives 6 runs and give up 3 home runs. And he goes, I think he threw the ball well. He just gave up 3 home runs to the worst home run hitting team in baseball, and he threw BP apparently. So I mean, the home run derby's over. Mickey, you can move on. Pete won it. Okay, it's not home run derby anymore. You don't need to give up the home runs like he just did. Like, it's okay to say somebody struggled. Yeah. It's so frustrating. He goes, you know what? I think there were some positives. You lost the game. You gave up. How many runs are you gonna give up? You gave up like 8 runs to the Marlins. It's not acceptable.
Everybody's can't handle the heat anymore. Just look at last year or 2 years ago, Girardi and Sanchez. Everybody's all about relationships and this and that, and you can't say anything bad. That's why I'm still all for the old school the old school
Gardenhire.
Ron Gardenhire.
Like that kind of just gets thrown out in the first inning every game.
But Mickey Callaway, one day we're just gonna wake up and he's a goner.
Yeah.
If it's not coming, it's gonna happen at the end of the year.
They're just gonna milk it.
The team's a mess. in Mickey's tenure, hitting out of order, Cano batting third, bullpen management, cursing out reporters, Brody's throwing a chair. They haven't won the Mets haven't won it, let alone the road series, as we mentioned, in April, from April 1st to 3rd. They haven't won a series since taking 2 of 3 from the Rockies, June 7th to 9th.
Ooh.
Over a month. Haven't won a baseball series. Okay? It's not working. He's in way over his head. As a pitching coach, which he was with the Indians, that's his specialty, and that's not even working. Yeah. You'd think the guy would know when to get a guy out if you don't have it. Yeah. Doesn't even do that.
No.
It's just the same old disappointment with the Mets. 3 straight years, they're starting the second half completely out of it. Yeah. Okay. Dave Island, Chuck Hernandez, gone. That's it. That's the problem.
That was literally the opposite of the problem. Nobody had any issues with Dave
Reagan
Island. The guy's a World Series pitching coach.
82 years old. Like, come on. I mean, I'm not knocking the age, but I'm knocking the age.
He's up there.
I don't get it. I don't
know what that is.
I don't know. But again, with now the deadline's coming in 2 weeks, it's time to build for the future. Sell Wheeler, Noah. Don't get me started with Noah. He's the biggest overrated pitcher there is. Vargas, even though he took a hit 2 days last night, whatever it was. Frazier's going. Yeah, just get pieces, man. Get pieces.
The Frazier, the Vargas, you're just gonna get pieces. You're probably not even gonna get a top 30 prospect out of any of these guys, but you just you just go out and just get something back. Just in high, double A, triple A, somebody who could help this team.
Teams are going to see Wheeler as a front end starter because he's got front end stuff.
Oh yeah,
he's been durable the last 2 years.
Yes,
he's been a pretty good pitcher.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get.
You're
gonna get something.
This is where.
And I'm sorry, until the Mets and Yankees make a deal, the Yankees they're not trading for.
No. But this is where I have another issue: is the Mets basically have zero interest in extending Wheeler, and I don't understand why. You have DeGrom for next year. If you don't move Noah, you have Noah, and then you have Matt, and that's your rotation right now. So you have 2 holes to fill after a very underwhelming Vargas, and then there's just gonna be another hole. Wheeler, I always felt like should have been extended, and Noah should have been the guy to go. Wheeler 3.88 career ERA. Last year he was 12-7 with a 3.31, but people forget about that second half where he was 9-1 with a 1.68, and his WHIP was a .83. He was pitching at the DeGrom level for the entire second half of last year. He's been more consistent. He's been more durable than Noah, and they just have had zero interest in keeping Wheeler on this team. And I feel like even right now, he should be the one that's extended, and Noah should be the one that's dealt. Being that
because Noah's got his name value.
Noah does it. No, he does have name value, but what you're doing is you're gonna give Noah to a high-end team here, like Yankees, Astros, or Red Sox. Those are probably the big 3. And what you're telling this team is, hey, we're gonna fix your starter situation this year, and you're gonna have him for all of next year. I think he's owed $6 million next year. So you have him under control for the next season. So I feel like you can get much more to rebuild your system back for teams that are willing to give up prospects. I just feel like you can get more for Noah and still keep one of these top tier pitchers. Dealing with the Red Sox, maybe you could bring somebody back like Jay Groom, big lefty coming off of Tommy John surgery. Maybe
the Red Sox just announced they traded for Andrew Kashner, so I don't think they're going to go after Noah because Andrew Kashner is it.
Like we all don't know what Andrew Kashner can do.
Having a nice year, but
I don't care.
I don't care either.
But anyway,
just another battering ram for the Yankees.
But just hoping to even get a position player back. Bobby Dolbeck, C.J. Chatham. Bobby Dolbeck's had 19 home runs in Double A this year. He's almost ready. C.J. Chatham at shortstop, 312 in Double A. He's hitting well. So maybe you can get some of these guys back for a pitcher that's under control for more than just the end of this year. Yankees are probably going to dangle Clint Frazier because they just don't want him. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, any trade, and we'll get into that in a little bit, any trade with the Yankees, obviously they're going to dangle Frazier. Yeah. I still think they're going to dangle Florial in it.
Who's struggling. He's in like 215 this year in like low A.
But I also think the Mets can see if an American League squad will take Ramos because
But he's another piece. Oh, he's a 2-year contract. So it's
2
possible.
years, 19 mil. He's not producing. So maybe maybe an AL team will take him as a DH or take on if the Mets will take on most of the contract.
And pitchers have been vocal about wanting to throw to Nito.
Yeah, I mean, give him a shot.
Yeah, but even dealing with a pitcher to the Yankees, I would actually want to see maybe a Josh Brewer and Anthony Siegler come back. High draft pick, big catchers. Catchers are tough to come by nowadays. So I feel like to see that come back into our system just for a little bit of depth. Nito's hitting about I don't know the exact number. He's been around 250 this year. He's had a couple big hits. So it's good to see, but I don't know if he can keep it up. So it's just good to have that
I don't know if he's
backup.
Everyday catcher.
Astros, they keep waving around the Kyle Tucker move because he's been underwhelming when he's been at the major league level.
Don Alvarez.
I'm very and Alvarez is hitting absolute missiles. But Kyle Tucker scares me. It's Preston Tucker's brother, and when he's at the major league level, he's playing like Preston Tucker. And I just don't. I know he's been a high end prospect, but I just don't want to. Here we go, another lefty outfielder who's going to just underperform.
Any team, whether it's again, I don't think the Mets and Yankees are going to make a deal, but as far as inquiring about Noah or Wheeler, the Yankees will be right there. Last year with Noah and the Brewers, wasn't it a thing? Nothing ever materialized on that.
They tried to trade Noah for like 6 months on SNY.
Every team that is in need of an arm and in the hunt for a divisional wild card, they're going to come asking the Mets, which is it's a good position to be in for the Mets. Yeah. Because if say the Yankees wind up with Bumgarner or wind up with Boyd somehow. Yeah. Because the Tigers asked Torres, Glaber for Matt. Get the hell out of here. Glaber, Torres for Matthew Boyd goes all.
Boyd's okay. He's good.
This is his first good season where he's whiffing up the storm.
Yeah, it's good.
As far as if the Yankees get a Bumgarner, okay, whoever, the Astros get something. The teams are now going to be desperate, and if they need an arm to combat the Bumgarner deal with the Yankees or whoever else, they're going to ship some pretty damn good pieces to the Mets in desperation to land another a number one. To fight for the playoffs. And again, that's a good position to be in for the Mets. And if you're emotionally involved because it's Noah Syndergaard or Zach Wheeler, like get that out of your head and make deals. I don't want to hear it's Noah Syndergaard.
Yeah. But
ship him.
If you're able to ship him, I do need to see a backfill here. Like if it's to the Padres, I need to see Mackenzie Gore. If it's to the Astros, I need to see Forrest Whitley. Like I need to see that big name come back. So that way, 2 years down the road, you can refill it with that kind of caliber of a pitcher. I need to see that come back in the deal. And I think, honestly, your biggest options are the Yankees. Just based,
it's just not going to happen. I don't think so. I mean, again, nobody ever really knows, but I can't see the Yankees and Mets making a deal. I cannot see the Mets giving Wheeler or Noah.
So let me take.
Even though Noah is.
Let me take it back. Your best option is the Red Sox. Just based on looking at
I don't want to see that either.
Based on looking at the starters ERA, Astros are 5th with a 3.93, and I know you're talking about the 1-2s.
We'll get it. We'll get that.
But Yankees are 9th. Yankees are 9th in baseball with a 4.09, and the Red Sox are 16th in baseball with a 4.55. So that's clearly their Achilles heel. So they're going to be wanting to get that extra arm in the rotation. So they're the ones who need to climb back, because that's kind of been the 3-man race for the last couple of years. It's been Red Sox, Yankees, Astros, throwing the Indians too. So they need to get at the same level as the Yankees and the Astros, being a top 10. So I feel like they're probably your best bet for throwing. Noah, unfortunately, maybe you can't do both, but if I would hope that they got rid of Noah.
I think Max has lost a little luster.
Yeah,
I mean, would a team take him? Sure, but I mean,
but
I don't know.
He's inconsistent, and he has a lot of early inning issues where he gives up 7 in the first. Like he's done that consistently in his career.
The one thing that I like, and it's a small little piece of the Mets here, is when Frazier is out of town, it opens up a spot for J.D. Davis every day. And I know his defense is not swift, but dude can hit.
He can hit, and he should be playing every
It's
day.
another good. It's
that's
one
why
of the better acquisitions from Brody. And he's platooning right now. He's platooning well. He's hitting lefties.
Yeah.
So when Frazier gets dealt, if and when he gets dealt,
he's your everyday third baseman, and I don't want to see anything else.
Yes, right. More.
You got to see what he's got.
More opportunities.
See what he's got.
Base.
If he can end your season hitting 280, 290 with 20 plus home runs, how does he not your guy?
Right. So now you got J.D. Davis, Jeff McNeil, Pete Alonso.
It's a young
Rosario.
core. Look at young. Well,
I mean,
don't get me
I don't
on
know.
Rosario. No. Don't get me started on Rosario with his 280 on base.
I'm not totally off him.
I'm off of him.
I'm not totally off him.
Real quick on Rosario.
He's a young guy.
Real quick. He's like leading baseball in errors at shortstop, and his on base percentage is like 285. So if you're not getting on base and you're not getting out, what are you doing besides being a liability? Tell me what you're doing for me.
I hate him.
He's fast. He's not stealing bases. He does literally nothing for you positive besides a liability. He can't go to his right. He can't get anything in the hole. But anyway.
But again, so yeah. Anyway, you have if J.D. Davis, Pete Alonso, Jeff McNeil. It's a nice Don Smith in there.
Nice young core, right? There.
So
yeah.
Stop trotting Frazier.
Yeah.
Good clubhouse guy. Frazier.
Here he goes. I hate you.
Good clubhouse guy, Todd Frazier.
Yeah, good high fives.
But somebody's gonna come calling for him. But it's just
one last note on Noah.
Mets gotta stop being the Mets.
One last note on Noah, and I feel like this has been one of the things that's hurt him in the past. Basically, a 5-pitch pitcher. The thing I notice is his two seam and his four seam
stinks.
His two seam and his four seam fastball are about 98 to 100 miles an hour. His slider is 92 miles an hour. His changeup is 92 miles an hour. This is a 6 mile an hour difference in 4 of your 5 pitches. You can just sit in the mid 90s for everything. Like how fooled are you going to get with 6 mile an hour off of a changeup? His curveball is 83, but you can adjust to that. But I mean, it's just I feel like that's always hurt him that he's been such a power pitcher that everything kind of lives between 92 and 98 miles an hour.
Possibly, maybe, as they say. Maybe a change of scenery will do him well. Maybe he's getting tired.
Of course he's gonna, because he's not gonna be a Met anymore, and he's gonna be like Sonny Gray.
Oh, God, Lance Lynn.
Yeah,
we said that.
Yeah,
Lance Lynn's got strikes out 10 a game.
He had 11 the first game back, right?
Yeah, ridiculous. Sonny Gray 350. That's unbelievable.
It's like 7 innings, 11 Ks.
It's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It happens all the time. It's amazing. Anyway. As far as the Yankees are concerned, what more is there to say? I'm not going to touch too much into it. They've been baseball's best team pretty much after their first sluggish 20 games. Everybody is aware. Everybody knows the depleted lineup, the injuries. You know it. Their ace, Severino, one of the better relievers in the game, and Della Betances. Stanton with a lost year. Didi's been out. Judge's been out. Sanchez. I'm not saying Bird. Voit was shelved for the All-Star break. Herman was shelved. Loizija, however you say it.
Yeah.
Hap has been shaky. Andujar was lost for the year. So you got guys like Mike Ford, Mike Tauchman, Gio Urshela, who just dipped below 300 for the first time yesterday. Next man up, pass the baton, stepping up, believing in themselves, believing in each other. And I've been saying it, John, I've been saying it to everybody, that it's to the point where it's expected the Yankees tie the game or walk you off in the 8th or 9th.
It's wild.
It's the complete opposite of the Mets. The Mets just expect to lose the game. But it's to that point. So now it brings out the slogan here now: championship or bust, which is pretty much every year, but more so this year because now you're kind of like for the first time in a long time, it's like, damn, the Yankees could possibly win the World Series this year. And I thought it last year too, but nobody really expected them to do what they did last year. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, 2 years ago. Girardi's last year. Yeah. Nobody expected them to be where they were Game 7 of the ALCS against the Astros.
Girardi's the best.
Oh, I love him. Future Met manager, I know it.
He's coming
back to the Yankees.
He's going to go to the Cubs.
He's coming back to the Yankees. Sorry, guys. I was hoping that was going to happen. But you look at what Herman was doing before he got hurt. Now he's 11-2, 3.40 ERA in 14 starts, 90 strikeouts and 82 innings, just above 1 WHIP. I mean, he's got a chance to be the top of the line with 71 too. Solid. Don't give him up either. I don't want to Herman, you don't have enough arms to be giving up Herman in a deal for Bumgarner or whoever. Okay, Daniel Frazier instead.
They're gonna. That's all. Every trade they're gonna be like Frazier. You guys want Frazier?
Yep, exactly.
What about Frazier? You guys want Frazier?
So the Yankees are pretty much doing everything right. They're hitting it out of the ballpark. Their runners in scoring position machines, especially with LeMahieu, who's batting like 1,000 with runners in scoring position. They're shortening games with the bullpen. Ottavino 1.77 ERA. Chad Green, he went down, and now he's kind of correcting himself again. You got Zach Britton 2.41. Chappie 1.82. Yeah. These guys are doing well, and that's all without Betances and Holder doing his thing like he did last year. So you look at the Yankees, the one weakness, the one Achilles heel is the rotation. But
it's not
that bad.
But you could improve it.
And they should improve it.
Yeah.
They should improve it.
Actually, even improving it just to take somebody off the table of a contender, because your contenders need starters.
Yeah,
too.
I mean, it really is not that bad. Yeah. But with Severino, who knows and I don't think he's coming back. I know they just announced earlier.
Please.
They just announced earlier today.
I'm not buying anything.
The doctor. Yeah. Him and Betances are cleared to resume throwing a program. So,
all right.
I don't see Severino coming back this year. Jordan Montgomery's out. Again, Loizaga is out, so now you're left with Herman, Tanaka, Paxton.
Montgomery has what? Tommy John from last year? He's still
Montgomery? Yeah.
All right.
Again, Happ been a bit shaky now. Home runs galore. He's got a 4.93 ERA in 18 starts. Tanaka's still a big game pitcher. I'll take him any day of the week. Paxton, he's doing all right. Could be better.
Was he low fours in his
401.
Yeah.
Which is respectable. 15
but that's
starts.
not what you didn't sign up for that.
No, you signed him up for a 330.
Yeah.
Or better.
Yeah.
He does have 95 strikeouts in 76 innings.
I don't care.
Which is pretty good.
Get the earned run down.
But again, it's outside of Happ. I mean, you got CC who's on the down end, but he's starting.
I'd still
five innings.
CC is just so experienced.
Right.
You're gonna throw
innings,
him out
2
there.
runs, 3 runs. He'll blow up every now and again, as most everybody will. But you take him as a 4 or 5. Happ has been the only real issue in this rotation.
See, the thing with your rotation is you need a starter, but your rotation's full. It's weird. Like you have a full rotation of respectable guys. Like who falls out?
Right.
And who's going to be happy falling out? Like it's an odd spot where they're all good enough.
Yeah.
Where nobody really deserves to fall out.
Yeah. No, I mean, again, I do think they need to upgrade. No question about it. The names that have been thrown out: Bumgarner, Mike Minor, Stroman, Boyd, Trevor Bauer, or something else Cashman has up his sleeve, and how far the Yankees willing to go to land a Bumgarner, because it's going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to land Bumgarner.
Yeah, it is.
Clint Frazier, obviously a hot item. Florio, the young outfielder, hot item. Mm-hmm. There were reports that possibly Herman, but so again,
it's a waste.
Right, it is a waste.
How much better do you get losing Herman and like replacing it with another pitcher? Like how that doesn't add enough to what you guys need. Replacing it.
I am. If I had to pick and choose, which I think I would go with Bumgarner or Bauer, and I because Boyd
don't go against the Twins.
Five home runs, 5 straight at bats. That's awesome. As far as
walk 'em.
As far as Mike Minor, I mean, it's still the name Mike Minor.
Yes.
I don't trust that.
I don't get excited about that.
Boyd, he's got to prove himself to me more. Stroman, I just don't. I don't think he's all there as far as
stuff,
top notch stuff.
Yeah,
I don't think he can handle it. And I mean, again, he's from Long Island, so
I get it.
I just don't think he can. It's like Sonny Gray 2.0.
Yeah,
really. I wanted Keuchel. Be 1,000% for that. Got no love from anybody, really.
Yeah.
Why not Dallas Keuchel? I don't, because the guy had one bad year. Everybody's off him. 4-2 with a 3.31 ERA, 9 starts in the postseason. Mm-hmm. He's been there before.
Yeah.
Okay, and everybody wants Bumgarner, rightfully so, because his postseason stats: 8-3, 2.11 ERA, 3 shutouts, 14 starts, over 100 innings pitched. So he's got it done.
Yeah.
But he's getting a little.
Everybody's looking
A
at
little more mileage.
everybody's looking at that number though, saying no matter what he's gonna deal in the postseason.
Right. You don't know that.
I know, but that's what everybody's banking on is that name value in the postseason. And Madison,
New York is New York playing in New York is a little different.
Yeah.
But again, I mean, numbers don't lie. You trust that.
He mowed down the Mets in the wild card game in New York.
I trust it more.
It's a different New York.
More than Stroman.
Yeah, I don't trust Stroman at all. I don't. Sorry.
Bumgarner's won 3 titles with the Giants. He knows what it takes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he knows what it's about. So it's just again, it's a matter of how far are the Yankees willing to go and get a Bumgarner, because it's going to take a hefty price, and I don't want to see Sanchez traded. I don't want to see Glaber traded.
I don't think you need to do that. You have a lot. You have a lot.
They're
going
to ask for Glaber.
But you have so much in the pipeline where you can even give up guys. Like you were talking about Floria, but you even have guys like Clark Schmidt, Matt Sauer that can sweeten the deal, or even
Garcia.
Ryder. I like Ryder Green. Guy's hitting. Guys drafted him last year. He's hitting. He's got like 19 home runs or something. He's hitting the ball.
The one.
It's good.
The one people.
Big outfield.
The one piece that people may not realize is because he's out is Andujar. So I guess he's hurt, but it's still a piece that teams
for a rebuild team, yeah,
right, that teams are going to look at.
Yeah.
So it's going to take a lot, and I understand the roadblock of this is what we're talking about before. I mentioned it before. I know the roadblock obviously is the Houston Astros and the Twins. The Rays are there. The Red Sox will probably be there in the end.
They'll squeak in.
As far as the Twins are concerned, having a hell of a season, but until the Twins beat the Yankees in anything, I'm not worried about the Twins.
That series is always 3 games.
That's over before it even began.
ALDS, here we go, 3-0.
I'm tired of
Sweep.
That. I don't even want to hear the Twins. So you look at and the Indians will probably be there unless they do some stuff with Bauer and Kluber's hurt. So
they shouldn't be sellers yet, though.
No, they shouldn't, because they're 10 games over 500.
Yeah.
8, 9, 10 games over 500.
They're there.
The Astros are obviously the complete team. They can hit, they can pitch, slick defense. They're quick on the base paths. They do everything right. It's nothing new. They've been this way for 3 years now. So the biggest roadblock in the ALCS with the Astros. To me, I don't want to hear that. Oh, if the Yankees want to beat the Astros, they gotta pitch better. Okay, they're gonna run into Cole. They're gonna run into Verlander, rightfully so. But that's it.
That's it.
Who's that? What other pitcher scares you outside of Verlander and Cole on the Astros? Wade Miley, yes, he's having a heck of a year. Low 3 ERA.
Yeah.
Framber Valdez.
They're not scary.
You want to talk about roadblocks? You want to talk about pitching? The Astros have two guns. That's it.
But this is where
two guns.
This is where we were talking before. Is if you want to face the Astros and only deal with 2 guys, you got to face them in the ALCS, because if you face them in the ALDS,
right,
you're gonna face these guys 4 to 5 games, and that's a problem.
It is a problem. I get that.
It's got to be a 7-game series.
Talking about overall,
I hear you.
It's 2 guys,
but you got to be impressed with what the Astros did. Basically, losing Keuchel and replacing it, with Miley with his low 3. I mean, he's basically filling in right where Keuchel left off his league. You lost Marvin Gonzalez, and then here comes Michael Brantley to hit 321. I know you lost Morton. That kind of hurts, losing 2 big starters. But even Evan Gaddis, McCann, they lost a lot of guys, but they filled in well with Brantley, Chirino, Soledad Diaz.
They have young peeps coming up,
and Alvarez is hitting the moon. The 363, 9 home runs in 21 games. He's got 27 ribs in 21 games. How do you do that? How are you doing that? How do you have more RBIs than he's on pace for 200 RBIs in the season?
It's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out in 2 weeks here. And the one big thing also is, obviously, this is it now. July 31st is it. There's no August deals coming through the pipeline here.
But they also have, their bullpen, just real quick, Osuna Presley and Will Harris. No, Willie Harris, he's retired. Will Harris. They've been pitching well. So, again, you have to wonder, okay, maybe if the Yankees can't go get that started, do they patch up their bullpen like they did last year? So there's ways around it, but hopefully last year taught them is that they need another starter. Because the patching didn't work when they lost to the Red Sox. So it's going to be interesting down the next couple weeks here.
I can't say for sure that the Rays are dead. I mean, obviously they're not dead, but I'm saying as far as
I want to see them in the playoffs.
The pecking order.
I want to
the
see
Yankees, the Astros.
this kind of baseball in the playoffs.
Yeah, they're good in doing all this. And Blake Snell's having a horrible year.
Yeah, he's getting hit.
Horrible year. Yanni Chirinos with a 3.2.
First of
ERA.
all, forget Ohtani. How about some Brendan McKay? Guy's ERA is in the mid ones. He's not giving up anything. Every time he's out there, it's 1 run or nothing.
Charlie Morton is now the new ace.
McKay, big McKay guy. Louisville.
They have a good team. Yeah, I like them more than I like the Twins.
Yeah,
but the Twins.
I'd be more intimidated by the Rays than I would be the Twins. 100%.
And you got to think of the A's too. They're gonna come calling for.
Sick of them. For a wild card loss.
Yeah. But they always do it though. They're always getting credit.
Then they play scared. That's what they do. It's Moneyball.
And the Rangers too. Okay, the Rangers are 8 over, I believe, and
a lot of competition in the American League.
The American League is
strong.
Strong, yes, that's a good term. And we had knocked one of our first episodes before the season started. We had knocked the Rangers because
we did.
It'll never not be funny.
Rangers and Angels.
Drew Smiley, Edinson Volquez, Shelby Miller, Lance Lynn.
We listed
but
now the rotation.
It's all and Mike Minor. So now it's become just Mike Minor and Lance Lynn because obviously Volquez, I don't even think it's on the team anymore. Shelby Miller, who knows? All these guys, you had to see this coming, but they're doing it with these two guys.
Jeez.
And the two young pitchers, Adrian Sampson and Ariel Jurado, who I don't know who these guys are, but they're getting it done. And that's what Leclerc's struggling.
I want to say Sampson was a Pirate at one point. I don't know why I think that, but
Leclerc was All-Star last year, and now it's Yankee great Sean Kelly closing ball games out. So there's a lot of competition. We're excited to see how it all shakes out. That about does it for this week's episode. Thanks for listening. We'll be back in a week or so about some incoming trades, hopefully. The Yankees will improve and the Mets will be sellers. So we're looking forward to that. Thanks for listening. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, our iTunes, our SoundCloud, and be sure to give the Goombas a follow on our Twitter and our Instagram at We Are The Goombas in the Goombas again.
Hey.
Salute.
Arrivederci.